Part 5 of this unit is about flow of fund metrics, its importance and its limitations. Flow of fund metrics. Let us try to understand what it is and why do we need it. The national income and the GDP, that is gross domestic product, does not give us a clear picture and detailed understanding about the financial transactions between the different sectors of the economy. It means the GDP and the national income figure does not help us to understand how much money has come from maybe household sector and government sector and has moved on to private sector or corporates or even to the government. So it does not help us to understand how money has flown between different sectors. The flow of fund matrix is a branch of social accounting of a country. It provides valuable insights into the functioning of the economy in general and the financial system in particular. Maurice Copeland, an US economist, had developed the concept of flow of fund accounts. He attempted to provide sectoral insights into the trends into macro aggregates. Flow of fund accounts in the modern sense represent a systematic record of net transactions involving financial instruments during a given period of time. In a monetized economy, all economic transactions involve exchange of financial claims among the participants. Having got to understood the meaning of flow of fund metrics, let us just try to see how it looks. Now, in simple words, the flow of fund account shows the sources of all the funds received and the uses to which they are put by different sectors within the economy. The flow of fund accounts are presented in a matrix form. As far as rows are concerned, the row-wise reading shows the flow of funds into different sectors, while the column-wise data indicates the receipts from different sectors or from different instruments. Now, in this particular slide, I am giving flow of fund matrix sector-wise. So, for the sake of simplicity, I'm assuming that there are only three sectors in the economy, that is household sector, corporate sector and government sector. So, in the rows, we have household, corporate and government, and even in the columns, we have household, corporate and government. The last two columns represents total and discrepancies. We will come to know what it is in a short while. Now the source column, which you all can see under every particular sectors, that is under household, under corporate and under government, this source columns provides data on funds available to the specific sector raised from the other sectors. It means now in this case under household, if you all see, household got an amount of rupees 350 from corporate and rupees 250 from government, whereas corporate got 800 rupees from household and 900 rupees from government. Now you all may wonder why I have not entered any figure for sources under sources from household sector to household sector. The reason is household will not provide fund to itself, but instead it will get a funds from some other sector. Corporate will not provide funds to itself, but it will get it from some other sector. Similarly, government as a source cannot be give the funds to itself, but it will get it from some other sector. Now the uses column, which you all can see again under each of the three sectors, what does it show us? It represents the sector's investment in financial assets and net increase in financial assets over the period covered in the accounts. Now, for example, if suppose this account which is usually written for 1 year, if I see the uses column under household, it means for that particular year, if it is 1920 or 2021, it means for that particular financial year, household spent or invested an amount of rupees 800 on acquiring assets from the corporate sector. It spent rupees 1000 on acquiring assets from the government. Whereas corporates spend 350 for acquiring assets from household sector and 1200 for acquiring assets from government, and so on. Now, ideally, at the aggregate level, sources and uses should balance each other. Aggregate level meaning when we are going to add all the sources and all the uses together, the source and the usage should be same, or they should equate each other. There should not be any differences. But if suppose they do not match each other, then it could be because of lags in the collection of the data or the information, or also it could be because of inadequate quality of data. Hence, we will see a column uh, uh, indicating discrepancies, which is used as a balancing entry. So by chance, if suppose for whatever reason the total sources do not equate the total uses, it could be for whatever reason, and that amount which does not balance, if it is more surplus, or if the total economy is in deficit for that particular year because the sources are not matching the uses, it will be shown into discrepancy column. Now, let us just try to have a look at the table which I have given in this slide. Look at the last column of sources minus uses and the total, that is sources minus uses. So what I have done is I have added the sources of each, that is in case of household it is 350 plus 250 which is 600. In case of corporate it is 800 plus 900 which is 700, and in case of government it is 1000 plus 1200 which is 2200. In case of uses for household sector, I add 800 plus 1000 which gives me 1800. For corporate it is 350 plus 1200 which gives me 1550, and for government it is 250 plus 900 which gives me 1150. So if I add all the sources in the row wise and column wise, I come to know that the aggregate sources, how much money received in total by all these sectors, was 4500. How much money was used by all this sector as a total? It was 4500, which means in the example that we have taken, the total sources equated with the total uses. Hence, the last column of discrepancies shows 0, which means there were no discrepancies which were noticed for that particular year. But by any chance, please pay attention, by any chance, if suppose sources were 5000 and uses were 4500, discrepancies would show 500 as a figure which could not be uh, basically identified as to from where the money, additional money of 500 has come. Again, to get a clear and a more broader outlook on flow of fund metrics, please have a look at the RBI site which I have given, the link which I have given at the end of all the slides. Have a look at it. I have even given the pro forma of flow of fund metrics sector wise and flow of fund metrics instrument wise. That will help you all to understand as to how RBI is actually writing its flow of fund accounts. Let us try and understand the importance of flow of fund matrix. First, it provides the pattern of financing economic activities and the financial interrelationship among various sectors of the economy, thus complementing national income and GDP figures of the country. It the flow of fund account also enables to identify the overall financial surplus or deficits of the individual sectors in an economy. The account facilitates the determination of the origin and the causes of this surplus and deficits. Owing to this feature, an inquiry into the utilization of surplus and the financing of deficits in each sector is possible. Besides bringing out such intersectoral linkages, the flow of fund accounts presents a comprehensive picture of the economy in that they provide details of the pattern of financing of even capital stocks. Flow of fund matrix also helps the policymakers to get analytical insights which are useful in locating specific sectors which require remedial action, especially during a downturn in business cycle. Some of the limitations of flow of fund matrices: calculations are complicated and unavailability of timely and accurate data, which leads to leakages from certain sectors being missed out. Now, having learned about the flow of fund matrix, at the end of the entire unit, I have given the flow of fund matrix which is being published by RBI. Just have a look at it and try to understand how RBI clearly tries to depict a picture of how the flow of fund moves or the funds moves from one sector in the economy into another. What are the sources from which fund is obtained and what are the uses in which the fund is put into.